like a stir fry with tofu, I always fry the tofu first because otherwise it cooks at a different pace than all the other food and it will break up otherwise. So I always fry it on its own to begin with. And I'm going to use a bit of my very old bottle of Bragg's liquid aminos, which is a bit like soy sauce but a bit extra protein, to give it a bit of flavour, because tofu don't really taste of anything that much unless you add stuff to it. And I'm also going to use a bit of Vogel Herb Amare, which has lots of nice herbs and sea salt together, all organic, and gives the tofu a little bit of flavour. A lot of people complain tofu is bland and boring, but they just haven't tried cooking it the right way. You know? So they are. And the good thing about using coconut oil is that you can get it to quite a high temperature without it burning. So I've my noodles in here now, the spaghetti's cooking away, making loads of steam, and the tofu's been cooking on its own for about 10 minutes now. Lots of flavour in there, but it's not crisped up quite yet. But what I'm going to do is crisp it up at the end with the other vegetables. So I'm just going to put it in a little pot on its own here with a bit of... Whoops!
Man overboard!
Man overboard!
Still good, it's still good.
And
On one side is for that.
I'm just going to scrape that last bit out of there. Then I'm going to add more coconut oil into the pan.
We will miss that tofu.
We will miss that tofu. Well, but the mouse is...
I'm going to that tofu is multi-man.
So a bit more coconut oil in
my
there.
favourite bit of tofu. I don't want any of it. That was the original bit of tofu.
Coconut oil is great because people think fat is really bad and they look at fat like this and they think it's like lard or something, but it's actually the healthiest fat you can cook with. There's really no cholesterol in it at all. It's great for people on weight loss programs. It's good for energy levels. Medium chain triglycerides in there as well. Coconut is my favourite. Tastes great. So let that dissolve in there a little bit, and then I'm going to add some vegetables. A bit of leek that I cut up here. Probably not going to. So normally when I'm cooking with garlic, I add it in towards the end because it can tend to burn very easily. And also I'm going to use a bit of this Marigold vegetable bouillon. I need something to mix it in, so it's always better to not to sprinkle it in directly. Bouillon is a kind of a... Alright, I'll use this. Bouillon is a kind of natural stock. This one's gluten free. I bet there isn't even a spoon, so I'm just going to sprinkle it in like this. And we have hot water on tap all the time, which is great, so I'm going to add a little bit of that in there. Doesn't matter, a bit of coconut oil on the spoon is fine because that all goes in the same way. Give it a stir. That makes a kind of nice stock to go over the top of it. Now, I'm not going to stick that on just yet. I'm going to add back in the tofu now, that's 3/4 cooked. Probably cook that for another minute or two just to make sure it's all warmed through. Pasta's nearly ready. Yep. And you can see, the best way of testing spaghetti. Another minute or two, I think. Okay, so we're nearly ready to go. I'm just going to add the mixed bouillon there. It's got a little bit of coconut oil in it as well. I'm just going to add a bit of moisture and turn the heat off and let that just simmer away like that for a minute. And I'm going to strain off my spaghetti now as well. And I haven't got a strainer, so I've got just little perforated holes in the lid of this saucepan, so I'm just going to drain that off. It's probably going to take a bit longer than I planned. Okay, so the spaghetti is done. Now, the important part of cooking is obviously to taste your food before you poison everybody, so that you know what's happening. So I'm just going to see what the flavours are like. Okay, that's quite salty, so I'm going to add a bit of milk to that. I'm using improv milk. And just stir it around a bit, give it a nice creamy texture. So this whole meal is vegan and gluten free, and it took about 17 minutes to make it. So you've got your pasta and your creamy sauce, and I'll probably just mix them in together and serve them here in a sec.
Yeah, really
Bit
tasty.
salty.
I wasn't sure what to expect. It's so yummy.
Rice noodles, bouillon, cooked in coconut oil, bit of brags, bit of herb amare, go with herb amare.
It tastes mushroom.
It does
Yeah, it's a
actually.
mushroom texture of it.
They're gonna take like little pictures of
Those
everything.
rice noodles are yum.
They're lovely.
It tastes, yeah, it does taste mushroom.